Hey YouTube, it's your boy Witchy here, coming at you with some more Age of Empires 3 Knights of the Mediterranean. Yes, this is the brand new DLC, which is going to be on the way in the next couple of weeks. I believe it's going to be the 25th of May. And we've not just got one, we have two. We have got a 2-for-1 deal offer right now with the Italians and the Maltese. So without further ado, guys, it's absolutely amazing. It's an honor to share this with you. And we're going to be quickly running through this, not in great detail, because I am going to have some future videos going through all of the intricacies, the decks, the units, the buildings, maybe certain strategies and openings that have been developed so far. And this is going to be in sort of preview to the full release coming in the next couple of weeks. So hope you guys can stay tuned for those videos. So let's have a quick run through this. Get ready to control the Mediterranean with two exciting civs, the Italians and the Maltese. Please enjoy a whole slew of new maps and some engaging game modes. Are you ready to jump in, take a look at these incoming features? The two new civs, 30 random maps, 9 new minor civs, 8 historical maps, diplomacy and tycoon game mode, which is absolutely insane. I never knew the devs would be going above and beyond like they have, so it's absolutely amazing to see this. And yeah, this is going to hopefully bring AOE3 back up on the map where it needs to be. So let's have a look first at the Italians. We do see unite a wealthy but splintered Italy, while new settlers flock to your booming empire with every technological breakthrough, and architects construct buildings for free. Invest at the Lombard to optimize your economy and turn a quick profit, or construct a towering basilica and send PayPal soldiers to strengthen and complement your army. Use shielded Pavizias to lure opponents into an ambush of Bersagliere, or let Elmeti lower their lancers and carry the day with a thundering charge. So already you can see some of the unique buildings and units that I've already mentioned. The Lombard is such a key building, and we're going to go into that in just a little bit of detail here. We see civ features, start with an explorer and an architect, receives a free settler with every technology and economic buildings, can research them in any age. Okay, that's kind of weird there. With every tech and economic buildings can research them in any age. Wow. Hang on. Receive a free settler with every technology and economic buildings can research them in any age. Wow, so you can just get the age 2, 3, and 4 upgrades in age 1. I didn't even know that. I've been playing it a little bit. I've got access to the preview. I've been playing it a little bit. Wasn't even aware of that. So there you go. Can send the Basilica units, I think that's Basilica, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, to spawn at any military shipment point. Unique buildings, we've got the Basilica here, which is the ship's powerful papal allies, and boosts nearby building construction speed. That costs 200 wood and gold. The Lombard, this is a really key building, and we'll talk about this more in detail in a future video. The Lombard trains outlaws and mercenaries, but also hosts to a unique investment mechanic, allowing the conversion of resources for free, but over time. So that can really help with your macro. If you have an influx of resources, you can send it into the Lombard, and it will basically spit out the other 2 resources for you over time. Unique units, got quite a few here. The Architect can build for free, but very slowly. Can pay for foundations to build very fast. Partly build free foundations can be converted into paid foundations for part of the cost to finish construction quickly, including with normal villagers. The Pavizia, one of my favorite units, basically a crossbowman on steroids. He's got a huge shield on his back. They just look absolutely amazing. So they have access to the unique Pavizia, which can change its armor with different stances. We've got the Schiavoni, which is a specialized light infantry that only counters other infantry, but does so very effectively. So that's very interesting. Don't normally see a light infantry unit that can counter other light infantry. Very nice. The Papal Guard, Papal Hand infantry that protects nearby allies by absorbing some of the inflicted damage. Can hook enemies with his halberd to slow them as well. The Papal Lancer, a very powerful sort of cav unit that will go into more detail, can inflict damage to nearby allies, counters all infantry. The Papal Zouaves, I don't know how to say that if I'm saying that right, is a ranged cav that absorbs damage and performs well against other units, counters against artillery. And finally, the Papal Bombard, Papal artillery that absorbs some of the damage inflicted to nearby enemies and is good against infantry. Moving on to some of the home city cards. So you can see here, we've got an array of cards here for the Italians. There's around 50 unique cards tailored to the Italian civ. Company cards that send complementing combinations. I like this. This is very, very similar to the Mexicans and the USA, where you have an array of different units that you can send in a group, which is nice, kind of like a banner army for the Chinese. So we see the first card here. We've got the Marco Polo. This is kind of wild. Explores black areas of the map, doubles resource rewards granted by treasures. We've got the Venetian Arsenal, ships a 1 Arsenal wagon. And we've got Merchant Republic. That's also shipping a trading post wagon. Also improves future income by 30%, and you get 20% of anything you've received so far. Kind of wild. I'm going to see maybe there's some TP builds that you can do with that. Moving on, we've got the company cards. We've got a few, an array here of different company cards. Moving on to the Maltese, and we do see the guard the Mediterranean against incursions with unique fortifications, don shining armor to fend off attacks, and shell opponents from afar with the fixed guns. Now the Maltese I already find are quite a defensive sort of fortification type civ. Not a huge fan of it myself. I like sort of to be out there, a bit aggressive. Maltese come across to me a little bit more of a turtle type civ at the moment. That's kind of how they're coming across, and we'll see that with some of these unique techs here. So fire throwers and great swords win battles, but the superior logistics of your commandery win wars. Luckily, you can have both. Fighting at sea with order galleys may wet the gunpowder, but your arbalists won't mind. You can always restock at a gunpowder depot or blow it up when an enemy army marches past. Some crazy building ideas and unit ideas here. So the Civ feature starts with a Grand Master. The Maltese units gain additional HP with each shipment and heal over time when idle. So you do get a 2% increase to your HP every card you do. So maybe going for like a TP build might be quite good because you can get cards a lot quicker with the XP. Maybe opening up a TP might be good. Therefore, you can get shipments quicker, you can get HP boosts quicker, who the hell knows. Unique buildings, we have the hospital, which is basically the barracks, but it heals idle units, and it's only 100 wood, which is really nice. The commandery, now this is kind of a bit of a gimmicky, crazy sort of building that I don't think at the moment how it's set up should really be as it is. If you played Age of Mythology and you've played Oranos, it's basically like the Sky Passages. You have 2 of them and you can garrison units in one and they will teleport and pop out of another anywhere on the map. So kind of wild and crazy. I don't think it's really fitting for AOE3. So I hope they maybe rethink it and might change it. I'm not too sure. Anyway, this building can actually fire as well. It can actually shoot. And it also trains powerful foreign allies. It's basically like a stables. It can train that. And also when you get certain cards, there's these cards called tongues. And when you get them, you are then able to produce that unit to a certain limit from the commandery as well. So a very key building that you have to have with this civ. We've got the depot here, filled to the brim with gunpowder. It boosts attack speed of nearby gunpowder units, but it will explode if destroyed, damaging all units, including your own. The fixed gun, which is absolutely crazy. I can't wait to showcase this more in my upcoming vids. A powerful stationary artillery costing a ton of coin there. Unique units, we've got the Grand Master, which is your hero. Explores, fights, build forts, trading posts, cannot die. Wow, if he falls unconscious, he can be rescued. Absolutely crazy. This Explorer is probably the tankiest Explorer ever. I think he starts off with something around like 600 HP or something crazy like that. So definitely a really strong Explorer. The Hospitaler, which is basically sort of like a DOPS, German sword infantry there, absorbs damage faster near buildings. Didn't even know that they're faster near buildings. The Sentinel is a defensive musketeer that may construct outposts, stronger near buildings, especially fortifications. Now, this unit at the moment is kind of overpowered. It basically gets buffed if it's near an outpost, a TC, walls, and I think they are potentially going to be adjusting that in the near future. We've got the Fire Thrower, light infantry that attacks with incendiary weapons, which inflict burning damage. These guys are kind of wild as well. I don't know how good they are. I don't know if they're quite gimmicky, if they're not that good, but I have used them a little bit. Very interesting. Moving on to the Home City shipment cards. I'm not going to go into this too much detail because I've got future videos going into it a little bit more. But let's have a quick look at them. We've got 65 for the Maltese here. The tongue cards that sends units from European nations in support of your cause. So these tongue ones are the ones that will add to your commandery. You'll be able to create those units from your commandery. So let's look at the unique cards. We've got Greek Fire, enables docks to construct fire ships. We've got fire towers, which I've actually seen in action. Very interesting. Once again, sort of going over the whole fortification defensive kind of look. The Wigner Court construction, a nice eco card. Settlers gather significantly faster to a nearby town centre. I think it's something like 30% at the moment, which is kind of crazy. We've got Knights of the Round Table. It ships 1 Hospitaller, and for every town centre that you've got, and it also gives 2% hit points to all units on your team. We have Fire Throwers as well. That's an upgrade to your Flamethrower units. And we have 3 of the tongue cards here. And of course, there are many more, and I'll be going through those in more detail in a future video. Moving on, we've got historical maps. I'm not going to touch upon these too much, guys, but there you go. Got a little sneak peek of some of them there. We've got the European royal houses. So the royal houses is kind of like your native TPs. Okay, so there's 8 of them, 8 minor civs that are going to be on the new maps. And got to say, some of the units at the moment are a little bit OP and broken, in my personal opinion, and I'm sure there's going to be many changes to it, but once again, it just adds more variety, more depth to this DLC, which is awesome. And speaking of more content and depth, we have 2 new game modes, Diplomacy and Tycoon. Diplomacy is kind of strange, a brand new way to experience multiplayer, allowing players to change their allegiance to other players during the course of the match, negotiate with your friends over war and peace, and make them pay for it. So this is kind of crazy. It's only available for existing maps. There's one specifically crafted for this game mode. But that's kind of crazy. I think you all start as like a free-for-all, and then you start to ally with people. I'm not too sure how it works, because I don't know if the teams have to be all even or anything like that. I'm not entirely sure. We have Tycoon here, another game mode. Is accompanying Supremacy, Deathmatch, and Empire Wars. I don't know whether this is actually going to be on ranked or not. Who knows? But basically, it's whoever can create the strongest economy without having to bolster armies or defend against full-scale sieges. So basically, it's just an economy game. It's just a building game. If you like building, you don't really like all the combat and everything. Some people don't. Tycoon is the game mode for you. And look at this, guys. Huge list of all these 30 new achievements, and I'm sure you can have a look at those if you want to pause it. And there we go, guys. You can pre-order the game, and I don't even know how much it is. How much is the game? £8. So it's £8, so $10. So it's the same price as the African Royals. And I've got to say, guys, you are getting way more content than the African Royals. I'm just going to say that right now. You are getting so much more content. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed this sort of run through, very quick run through. As I mentioned throughout, I will be running through this in more detail in future videos on the run up to the release of this DLC. So I hope you really enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more videos and streams, of course. My name's Widgie, and I am out. Catch you guys later.